Several days after the surprise attack on Israel, the massacre of over 1,000 Israelis, babies killed, beheaded, kidnappings, the so-called president of the United States finally shows up, we hoped, with a plan. Well, he finally showed up today after an hour and a half of being late. They must have been shooting him up with steroids or some kind of stimulant to get him up out of bed, because last time when there was the attack just a few days ago, he couldn't even get up. It took 5 hours to get him up. No plan, nothing said about the involvement of Iran, just a lot of heartfelt sympathy for the Jewish people. That's fine. But you know what? He had to look around him, because the people that he has advising him, these members of the Marxian Jewish left, have sold out their own people. And they're a primary reason why there's an intelligence failure, why there was an appeasement, why this thing happened. These people, frankly, have to bear responsibility for what happened. And our government, if you want to call it that, has to bear responsibility. But here's for sure. This so-called president, brain dead, a criminal, having taken bribes from communist China, Ukraine, and Russia, and God knows where else, appeasing Iran, giving it $6 billion at a time when it shouldn't have been given anything at all, relaxing sanctions on oil. He needs to go for this in a variety of reasons, in addition to the border, because we now know that terrorists have gone across that border, are embedded in our country. And now the administration is freaked out because they realize terrorist attacks in this country will surely seal their fate in the 2024 elections at this point, with everything else that's going on, with using the FBI as a Gestapo, the FBI not doing its job with regard to terrorism, but in fact persecuting peaceful protesters and having them thrown in prison for alleged simple trespasses, which aren't even trespasses at all, because that is our capital. We at Freedom Watch have indicted, we've convicted, and we're seeking to have removed peacefully and legally Joe Biden from office. We can't survive another month, let alone another year and a half, with this individual in control, someone who can't even get out of bed, and when he does, has nothing to say. So go to freedomwatchusa.org, contribute to our cause with tax-deductible contributions. We are your People's Justice Department, and we're also the people that have your back, not the President of the United States, as he calls himself. I frankly question his validity in office, and clearly, in terms of his performance in office, he is no president. So support us, get my book, It Takes a Counter-Revolution, Wake Up America, and pray. Pray to the Father and Son, because these are dire times, and I'm afraid that what we've seen in the last few days with Hamas and the attack on Israel and the slaughter is just the beginning of what's going to happen. And this so-called president bears full responsibility. Be back tomorrow with another special podcast. Until then, remember, the Father and Son will only help us if we help ourselves. Thank you for listening to me.